are only seeing what is on the internet, not hacking anything. Please be aware of what is legal and what is illegal. Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video we are diving into one of the most powerful and terrifying tools used in cybersecurity and hacking, which is Shodan. Think of it as the Google of devices. While Google indexes websites, Shodan indexes things like webcams, routers, firewalls, industrial systems, and even unsecured servers. Today, I'll show you how Shodan works, how hackers use it to find exposed systems, and how you can protect yourself, all with a free Shodan account. So let's get started. So what is Shodan? Shodan is an OSINT, or open source intelligence tool. It scans the entire internet for devices, grabs metadata, banners, open ports, services, even geolocation, and displays it all in a searchable way. That means a hacker can type in a few keywords and discover devices running outdated software, exposed login portals, or vulnerable web services. So let's do some hands-on searches with Shodan. So first, let's try the port. So for example, the FTP port. So we can type here port 21, something like that, and it will bring us a list of devices here. So this query tells Shodan, show me all devices that have port 21 open, typically used by the FTP, file transfer protocol service. Why it is useful? So FTP is often misconfigured, left unauthenticated, for anonymous login enabled, exposing internal files or sensitive data. So here we can see all these servers, or the result is 7 million, so many. And what we can do more here is try to type anonymous here. Anonymous, something like that. And here this shows us servers where anonymous login is explicitly allowed. So we can watch for old FTP servers leaking directories, embedded services, for example, security cams, or routers running FTP. So here you can see you are user number 1 of 50 allowed. So it is allowed to check this server. Same here, but still no anonymous login. It's not legal to use this. No anonymous. Here you can see anonymous user logged in. So we have plenty of options here. So let's try the port 23, for example. We can use, for example, with Cisco, sorry, this one, and we are searching for Cisco products by using Telnet. Let's search that. Here we can see Cisco, maybe routers, which have the Telnet. So what it does, this targets devices that have port 23, is Telnet, and are identified by Shodan as a Cisco product. So why it is useful? Telnet is insecure, unencrypted. So many Cisco routers, switches expose Telnet by default. Might still use default credentials. No, default credentials are Cisco. So let's try a specific country, for example, and search for a specific country here. US. Still port 23 Cisco, but specific country. So or we can search for organization, something like, so here are results for the US, or we can search for organization. This is Telnet. It is an ISP in Sweden. Let's check that. And we can see we have two routers with port 23. So what we watch for here, routers with banners that leak model info or software version. Open Telnet interfaces often lead to full config access. So let's try another thing here. Let's try metasploitable. So search for metasploit. So this metasploitable finds public metasploitable instances. What it does, it searches Shodan for any banners, services, or identifiers that mention metasploitable, which is a purposely vulnerable virtual machine created by Rapid7 for metasploit testing. Why is this useful? First, spot honeypots. A spot honeypot refers to a quickly deployed or temporary honeypot system designed to lure attackers and gather intelligence. So be careful trying to talk to these. And gather intelligence over a short period of time. It is not meant to be permanent, but is set up to spot specific types of threats or test for vulnerabilities. Okay. Or research labs that have exposed metasploitable VMs to the internet, usually by mistake. And this is great for training, demos, or red team bait. So metasploitable usually runs FTP with anonymous login. Telnet, SSH, and R services, misconfigured web apps. So warning here, if you see real-world IPs exposing metasploitable, like these IPs here, it's likely someone left a lab VM exposed, or a research team is gathering data, and the most surely it is a honeypot for catching attackers. So, as we can see, we have only 28 results. So now, let's check the unsecured IP cam. So what is a netcam? Netcam refers to network-connected cameras, also known as IP cameras, network surveillance, internet-enabled CCTV. These are used in homes, businesses, schools, factories, and even government facilities for security and monitoring. Why are netcams on Shodan? Shodan indexes devices that are exposed to the internet, including IP cameras that run an embedded web server, respond on standard ports like 80, 443, 8080, and don't require login or use a weak or default credential. So, what can you search for in Shodan? You can use specific filters to find exposed netcam. Let's try first only netcam. Something like that. And we can see we have 10,000 reads. So this shows any device with banners containing the term netcam. But we have another way. We can get this here, or this search term. This is very interesting. And here we can see thumbnails. So the port 554 is the RTSP stream. and the has screenshot shows devices where Shodan captured a thumbnail, if available. We have 17,000 results. You can see, and this is still not hacking. We are only seeing what is on the internet, not hacking anything. Please be aware what is legal and what is illegal. Here you can see this webcams. Interesting. It's the same. So next, now by manufacturer, for example, D-Link camera. Let's take this one here and try. So D-Link DCS 930 is a very common home IP cam, often exposed with default credentials or no auth at all. So we have 4,000 results. No. So hacker can search here and find a victim easily. So next, we can see now device with screenshots. So we can use this search term. It's the same as the port 554, but other way to show it. You can see has screenshot true title IP cam. This shows us about 300 results IP cam. Same, you can see thumbnails. Very interesting. So Shodan bot generates and saves images whenever the camera provides a video preview. So, real-world risks. So first, unauthorized access to live surveillance. Second, attackers using exposed cameras in both. The third, privacy violation, because we have IP cameras overall, offices, bedrooms, nurseries, etc. And lastly, discovery of sensitive locations, cameras inside data centers, banks, etc. So ethical use reminder here. These devices are searchable because they are misconfigured, not because Shodan is hacking them. You must not access or interact with any video feed or control panel unless you have explicit. Now, let's jump to the next example. Now we can search a specific port in a specific country. For example, let's try this one. So we are searching Telnet in country SE, which is Sweden. Let's click here and see the result. So we can see we have 4,000 results with Telnet. So this finds all devices in Sweden that with Telnet open port 20. Common way to check for exposed service or brute force. The next example is industrial systems. So let's take this and use this. Search for product. So this shows industrial control systems. Many aren't protected, meaning attackers could potentially flip switches or disable alarms remotely. See this one. Here you can see something. So next we can check the port here. This shows open MongoDB databases. If not protected, hackers can steal or delete the data. So now, you can see here we have many examples. It's much. search. So how hackers use this data? Once they find a target, attackers look at the banner info, software versions, server types, even error messages. They copy that info and cross-reference it with known vulnerabilities using sites like exploitdb or cvdetails. This allows them to launch targeted attacks like default credential login or remote code execution using exploits. So how to protect yourself? Don't expose admin interface to the internet like RDP, SSH or web login. Always update your firmware and patch vulnerabilities. Use firewalls and VPNs. Scan yourself so you can enter your own public IP, Shodan, and see what's visible. And lastly, to manage a company or public-facing system, this kind of visibility can mean the difference between safe and compromised. So this video is done here. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.